Deputy Clare Daly.
Thanks, Ceann Comhairle. I actually think even the title of this bill is wrong. Rather than calling it a social welfare bill, we should actually call it a corporate welfare bill, because that's what social protection has become in this country. Rather than a necessary safety valve for citizens when they fall on hard times or are out of work, it's actually being used as a vehicle to transfer wealth and line the pockets of big business, in part with a facilitation of labour activation schemes which have given rise to an almighty race to the bottom. And I want to read from an email I got from a constituent of mine that really struck a chord with me. And the catalyst for his email was the protestations of Enda Kenny and the government that we have a recovery underway, that we've all taken great strides forward. Our numbers of unemployed has fallen. We should be all proud of what we've achieved. And he said he is actually sickened at the impact of what this government has done on his health and the effect it's had on him, which is why he led to write. And he said, I've done what these people and their kind have told me to do for the past 15 years, and I'm no better off now. In fact, in terms of my mental health and demeanour, I'm actually worse off. The establishment told me to get an education. I said, at what? They said, do what you're good at. I'm good at philosophy. I got a first-class degree, I got a master's degree. Then the goalposts changed. Employers don't want philosophers. I needed to add more strings to my bow. I told them I'd no money. They said, go on the dole and then go on a job bridge scheme. That's what I did. I ended up in a policy section of a government department where I produced tightly argued papers that recommended scheme changes that I knew to be wrong, all for the princely sum of €200 per week and no PRSI contributions. The establishment seemed happy, but not enough happy to give me a job. Of course, they couldn't with the recruitment embargo. I was told to hang out for another temporary clerical job, and in the meantime, they tricked up another internship where I was put on the front line and told that I couldn't be soft. I'd have to treat the customers hard. Of course, they didn't put it so frankly, but the message was clear. The customers and all of the customers are chancers and must be treated accordingly. I then got moved to a different section in a different department, slightly more humane. And then I was told I could maybe hang on for another temporary job. At that stage, I'd had enough. I walked out of the department and the job bridge scheme and into a zero-hour contract with an English language school. Now, that's the Ireland that you've created. That's the process that you've facilitated with your misnamed social welfare system, which has been seeing millions taken out of a budget that should be there to support people, actually facilitating employers not offering decent jobs. Ads for qualified vets, for teachers in private schools, qualified chemists holding PhDs, medical scientists in the HSE, shelf stackers in Tesco's, administrators in your own department, social media administrators in RTE, kit assistants in the FAI. That's what we're talking about when you're talking about labour and job creation in this country. Hundreds of underemployed and short-term working teachers who have to rely on the social protection budget in order to get a decent working week's wages. Casualisation, part-time work, it's utter lunacy, and it is facilitating a transfer of wealth from the taxpayer into those at the top. And to talk, as the Minister has done, about maintaining core social welfare rates is an absolute insult against the backdrops of rising inflation, against the appalling inaction in failing to deal with the glaring disconnect between the amount that you are paying out in rent allowance, currently €520 for a single person or €750 for a couple, when rents in this city for a two-bedroom apartment are €1,700 a month. Where are those people supposed to make up the deficit? They can't. And meanwhile, your department has transferred €2.5 billion of taxpayers' money into the pockets of private landlords in rent supplement alone since 2010. That's what this government has stood over, and your social welfare bill doesn't tackle any of those structural injustices which are now built into this system. I would like to make points about the pensioners, who you've given them a pittance, but meanwhile have robbed those pensioners in private pension schemes at the same time. It's a joke. The people will see through it, and it's actually scandalous that this has been put forward under the stewardship of a Labour government.